You do not grow up hearing stories about luxury vacations or expensive toys. You grow up hearing stories about Sam Walton. His name appears at family gatherings. His decisions become examples. His habits become standards. People talk about him the way some families talk about a founding myth. Years after his death, he still shapes the atmosphere of the room. Sometimes it feels like you are being compared to someone you never had the chance to meet. And somehow, the comparison still matters. Very early in life, you absorb a set of beliefs that follow you everywhere. Hard work is not optional. Privilege is not automatic. Wealth comes attached to responsibility. Nobody presents these ideas as motivational slogans. They are treated as facts. The kind of facts nobody argues with. Money is never described as a reward. It is described as an obligation. The more advantages you receive, the more is expected from you. The opportunities are larger. The expectations are larger too. Over time, certain fears begin to settle into your thinking. Not the fear of failing, not even the fear of losing money. The fear of becoming the generation that lets the system weaken. The fear of being remembered as the descendant who enjoyed the benefits but failed to protect the foundation. The fear of attaching your name to a slow decline. And the pressure rarely comes from strangers. It comes from people close to you. Family councils, senior relatives, executives connected to Walton Enterprises, other descendants who carry the same legacy. Even when nobody says a word, you feel it. In the comparisons, in the expectations. In the silent assumption that every generation is being measured, there are moments when you want to step away from all of it. Moments when you wonder what life would feel like without the weight of a famous surname. Moments when you imagine choosing a completely different path. But another thought quickly follows. If everyone walks away, who stays? If everyone chooses themselves, who protects the structure? That tension never fully disappears. Sometimes rest feels unearned. Sometimes distance feels like betrayal. The pressure is subtle, but it is constant. Eventually, one realization changes the way you see everything around you. You do not inherit Walmart. You inherit responsibility for what comes after Walmart. And once you understand that, 3 rules become impossible to ignore. The first rule sits underneath everything. The Walton name is the real product. Most people think the stores are the source of power, but stores can change. Industries change. Business models change. What must survive is trust, and trust is attached to a name. The family understands that a damaged reputation can take decades to repair. Protecting the name often matters more than protecting any individual investment. The second rule is less comfortable. Comfort is dangerous. Every wealthy dynasty eventually faces the same enemy. Not competition, not regulation, not recession. Comfort. The moment people stop pushing themselves, decline begins quietly. No dramatic collapse, no warning signs, just a slow erosion of discipline. The family fears complacency more than hardship, because hardship can create strength. Comfort often creates weakness. The third rule explains why the system still functions after so many decades. The family must stay aligned. History is filled with wealthy families destroyed by internal conflict. Arguments become factions. Factions become lawsuits. Lawsuits become permanent divisions. And eventually, the fortune becomes smaller than the damage caused by the people fighting over it. The Walton system treats unity as a strategic resource, not a feeling, not a family value, a resource, something that must be actively maintained. The pressure created by these rules follows you into everyday life. If you spend extravagantly, people notice. If you seek publicity, people question the risk. If you choose a path completely disconnected from the family culture, expectations begin pressing from every direction. Not through commands, through silence, through raised eyebrows, through the feeling that your decisions affect more than just yourself. After enough years, you stop thinking of this as a wealthy family. You begin seeing it as a machine designed to preserve influence across generations. And every machine operates through layers. The first layer is discipline. Before anyone trusts you with serious responsibility, you are expected to demonstrate self-control, how you work, how you think, how you manage your time, how you handle success. The assumption is simple. If you cannot govern yourself, you cannot help govern anything larger. Character comes first. Money comes later. But discipline alone cannot protect a fortune of this size. Behind it sits an entire ownership structure. The deeper you look, the more you realize that very little revolves around individual possession. Trusts, family offices, holding structures, long-term planning systems. Most wealthy families become poorer over time because ownership keeps splitting into smaller and smaller pieces. The assets fragment. The interests diverge. The influence disappears. The Walton structure was built to resist that outcome. The goal is not merely to own wealth. The goal is to keep control concentrated enough for the system to survive. And that survival depends on more than money. It depends on people. More than 250 descendants spread across generations create a complicated reality, different ambitions, different personalities, different visions of the future. Under normal circumstances, that level of complexity would create endless conflict. Yet enormous effort goes into preventing small disagreements from becoming permanent fractures. Because every internal battle carries a hidden cost. Every division weakens influence. Every conflict reduces collective power. Over time, you discover something surprising. Unity is not just an emotional benefit. It is an economic asset. The family protects it accordingly. Once assets and relationships are stabilized, the system turns toward influence. And influence operates differently than money. Wealth can buy access. Influence can shape outcomes. That distinction matters. The transformation usually follows the same path. Money becomes philanthropy. Philanthropy evolves into impact investing. Impact investing creates influence. Influence creates legitimacy. Legitimacy strengthens survival across generations. What looks like generosity from the outside often serves another purpose underneath. Capital is being converted into long-term relevance, into relationships, into institutional trust, into durability. The objective is not simply to remain wealthy. The objective is to remain important for as long as possible. And eventually, another lesson emerges. The most powerful position is often the least visible one. The richer the family becomes, the less attention it wants. Public attention attracts scrutiny. Scrutiny attracts risk. Risk threatens stability. So visibility is managed carefully. You avoid becoming the headline. You avoid becoming the spectacle. You avoid turning wealth into entertainment. The goal is not recognition. The goal is endurance. Quietly. Across decades. Across generations. And when you step back and look at the entire structure, a pattern begins to appear. The pattern is much different from what most people believe. The deeper you look, the more uncomfortable the realization becomes. Most people spend their lives trying to earn more. A better salary, a larger business, a bigger investment account. The assumption feels natural. More money must mean more security. More money must mean more freedom. More money must mean a better future. But inside the Walton system, that belief begins to break apart. You see people working harder every year while remaining trapped in the same financial cycles. You see families accumulating assets only to watch them disappear after a generation or two. You see successful careers producing income without producing anything durable. The problem is rarely effort. The problem is what effort is connected to. A person can spend 40 years building wealth. If there is no structure around it, the wealth leaves almost as quickly as it arrived. A person can save aggressively for decades. If there is no system protecting the assets, time slowly takes them apart. Taxes, inflation, bad decisions, family disputes. One leak becomes another, then another, until eventually there is nothing left to protect. The same pattern appears with visibility. People often assume the most powerful people are the easiest to see. The people on magazine covers. The people dominating headlines. The people constantly being discussed online. But the Walton family forces you to notice something different. Some of the most durable power in the world operates quietly. The spotlight attracts attention. Attention attracts scrutiny. Scrutiny attracts pressure. And pressure creates vulnerabilities. The people who seem invisible are not always less powerful. Sometimes they are simply harder to attack. As these ideas begin to settle, a colder truth emerges. Many people are not struggling because they lack intelligence. Many are not struggling because they lack motivation. Many are not even struggling because they lack information. They are struggling because they are focused on the visible layer of money while ignoring the invisible layer beneath it. They study income. The system studies continuity. They focus on transactions. The system focuses on structure. They chase opportunities. The system protects permanence. And once you see that distinction, the question changes. It stops being about how much you can earn. It becomes about whether anything you build can survive without you. That question sits quietly beneath everything. And eventually, it leads you to one final conclusion. The Walton family did not endure because they were simply richer than everyone else. Many fortunes were enormous. Many fortunes looked unstoppable. Most eventually faded. What survived was not the money. What survived was the framework surrounding the money. A framework built on discipline. A framework built on alignment. A framework built on limiting the damage individuals can cause. The family reduced risk through habits. Reduced conflict through governance. Reduced instability through long-term planning. Year after year, generation after generation, the structure became stronger than the people inside it. And that strength demanded sacrifices. Personal freedom was never unlimited. Every choice carried consequences beyond the individual. Every decision touched something larger than a single life. The longer the legacy lasted, the more carefully those boundaries had to be protected. Perhaps that is the hidden cost of permanence. Not money, not effort, not intelligence, but the willingness to accept limits in exchange for continuity. Most people dream about complete freedom. Most dynasties survive because they accept the opposite. They choose rules. They choose discipline. They choose structure. The Walton family did not build longevity with wealth alone. They built it with constraints that successive generations agreed to respect. And maybe that is the lesson hidden beneath the entire system. Lasting influence is rarely created by what people are free to do. It is often created by what they refuse to allow themselves to do. If you enjoy exploring wealth, power, dynasty structures, multi-generational assets, and the invisible systems that shape the world, subscribe to the channel, because sometimes the force that determines your future is not how much money you make. It is the system you choose to build or the one you are already living inside.